Hello, and welcome to the final installment of Black Girl Magic Book Chat Women's History Month edition. My name is Larissa, and all month I have been reading books by Black women, about Black women and girls, to highlight stories across the genres. This week, I read a book by our good sis Stacey Abrams. This book was written back, I think, in 2001. And I remember when it came out that Stacey Abrams used to write romantic suspense novels as Selena Montgomery. I was like, what? Also, what a pen name, Selena Montgomery. So anyway, so I will name that I picked this book up as I was perusing the shelves at Rudolph Regional Library. Check out your local library. And I saw her name. I didn't even read the synopsis. I just got it. So here we go. Rules of Engagement by Stacey Abrams, writing as Selena Montgomery. This book has all of the things that you think about when you think about a romantic suspense novel. There's intrigue and covert operations and espionage, betrayal, yes, and even some spice. I honestly don't have a super deep read for this one. Other than to name that it's high energy and it's pretty fun. So we follow Dr. Riley Foster, who is an operative for a top secret organization. I forget the name of it. It's, the letters. She teams up with Adam Grayson, who is a billionaire CEO of a company that builds tech things. That's not like what's important. So what is important is that 3 years ago from the start of this book, these two are a part of this covert operation, this sting in the Middle East, where they have infiltrated this organization of this man in Jafir, who pretty much just like wants to build all, like, be the power in this place, and so they're trying to stop him, and so they both in different capacities infiltrate his little circle, and it doesn't go as planned. One day things blow up, and Adam's best friend is left for dead, and he even thinks that Riley is dead too, because Adam is also part of this organization. So they're both, in this, and so 3 years go by, and they have to work together again. So both of these people are sort of your quintessential special agents. Riley is beautiful, and she's got like genius level intellect, but she's also mysterious, and no one really knows much about her past and her history. She's kind of one of those people who, they're so smart that they like finish high school when they're 12, and then they've got three PhDs by the time they're like 25. One of those people. And so she's like, science is kind of her thing, and bombs. Adam is also really, really intelligent, but he's rich. He comes from a super wealthy background, and he's recruited out of law school, I think. I think right out of Harvard. And he's the sort of person who likes the chase of this sort of work. He likes the adrenaline. He's one of those people who gets bored, because he has time to get bored. And he likes that rush that he gets from this work. So Riley is a product of an inconsistent childhood, exacerbated by abandonment. So she's closed off, and she's a little bit of a stickler for the rules, because she likes knowing, okay, these are my instructions, these are the things that I have to do. Adam, on the other hand, is not one for playing by the rules. So he goes off script because he can. And so when these two get together, you have this extreme butting of heads, because they just don't necessarily see eye to eye on how things should operate. And so not only do they butt heads all the time, their ideologies are pretty different in that Riley focuses on duty. Like, it is my duty to do these things. I signed up for this. This is what I told you I was going to do. This is what I'm going to do. And Adam is more like justice, where that may not align with your duty. And so in order for them to work together, there has to be this truce, if you will, this breaking down of these barriers that normally would stay in place in order to do their jobs. But in order to work together, they have to kind of be willing to listen and engage. And obviously, when that happens, a little bit of spice and then some love. These books do, though, they make me wonder about covert operations and kind of like this idea of doing bad things for the sake of the greater good. These two people are obviously report to someone else, and this person kind of uses people as pawns, because according to him, that's his job. Everybody is expendable, because at the end of the day, it's not about individuals, it's about our country, if you will, or the people, and these people who have agreed to be a part of this organization know that you can be disposed of if necessary, if it means that the citizens or the country as a whole are safe. It's such an interesting concept, because we live in our worlds, at least my world, it's fairly small. So this idea of people being expendable is untrue in my world. So, we hear about governments doing this kind of stuff all the time, and I always wonder, how close do these books get to that reality? Anyway, so at the end of the day, I did like this book, and I like books like this because they're not going to change who I am fundamentally as a person, but they do provide me with that rush that you get when you watch an action movie. Predictable, kind of, but you want to watch it anyway, and you want to read this anyway. And it's really incredible to see like this different side of Miss Abrams. The lady's got talent, right? Like, we know her as this stickler for justice in regards to voting rights. And then when you read this, this is a woman who has written a romance novel. And it's descriptive and it's well paced, and I would read another one, right? And so I really like kind of that dichotomy, if you will. This, she's such a formidable person, but then also has this side where she just like wants people to fall in love, and I really like that. And I think at the end of the day, that's what I really like about these books, because we really do get to see over the course of these various genres, the stories about women and how varied that they can be. Our stories are not just like Red at the Bone, where we kind of experience this traumatic upbringing. Well, maybe not even traumatic, in some ways traumatic, but this not upbringing, but like where the choices that you make kind of not ruin your life, but definitely alter it. So we're not just those types of stories. We're not just this like high octane, high energy sort of romance story. We are all of it, and that is my favorite thing about reading these books over the course of March, because I really get to see just how varied our stories are, and I love it so much I love Black women so much for that. So y'all, that's it for our Women's History Month Black Girl Magic Book Chat. I had an incredible time reading these, as I always do. And I cannot wait to do it all over again in October for one of my favorite holidays, Halloween, where I will be reading books by men, women, and non-gender conforming people, if I can find them. But the focus will be on thrillers and suspense novels and horror. So I'm excited to pick those up. Until then, thanks for tuning in.